I arrived on a Friday. I can always remember October the 4th. And I said on a Friday. And I was out on the field at the football games where they were playing them on Sunday. So you see how fast I got my feet going. So I did. And so I lived with my aunt then, as it says, and until involved in politics, but hurling and football too. I was definitely big into that as well, like, you know. And we had our own teams, and I used to even wash the socks for the footballers, because when they would shrink, you know, if you put them in the washing machine, and I would wash them myself. I would for them, like, you know, wash the jerseys. Got the jerseys then from O'Neill's in Cork. Mind you, from O'Neill in Cork at that time. That's where we got our first set of jerseys. You see, I was at Gaelic. This store, Gaelic Imports, I was working, you see, and then the owner of Gaelic Imports, George Hudson was his name, you know, and his wife, Berenda, very, very nice couple, really, you know. So one day, I was in the store, it was the first time I saw them selling meat pies and all of that kind of stuff, and he says, we're going to England and Ireland and Scotland for shows. He said, would you ever look after the store while we're gone? I thought, look after the store? Well, I had helped him a couple of days before that, like, you know. So I said I would. So they went off, I left me in the store, and I redone the store while they were gone. I did. Oh yeah, when he came back, he didn't really know it. I redone it anyway. And it was thrilled. So he asked me then, would I stay on the store? You see. So I did. I stayed on, as I said. And then it came into my mind after a couple of years that could I have a store of my own instead of having to be working for somebody else? You know. So Jack O'Connor then had a travel agent right next to where we got the store later. He had this travel agent, right, to an ideal place for to put a store next to a travel agent, you see. So finally got the store, we rented the store. Jack O'Connor said he would help me, so he did for a couple of years, like, you know. Then the store that was going and getting bigger and getting bigger all the time, you know. I mean, very, very good place. And we had a bakery called Winston's and Winston Sausage, and we still have them.
Right, yeah.
We still have them. We have, they're great. They're from Roscommon.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yes, yeah. And
they're in Milwaukee every
so
summer.
He does Milwaukee Fest. So he does. You'll always find a crowd outside Winston. So you would for the sandwiches and the sausages and everything, like, you know. You see, himself and his wife Mary have passed away now, but the son has, Jerry, the two sons, has taken him over, like, you know, and is still doing it. We are, said, in fact, I thought that that's what I was going to do today, to cook sausages, but changed my mind. And now the radio, from 1972, the radio, there was, I used to go to do spots on the radio, publicising things, you know, you see, and WOPA in Oak Park. And I guess I got to like it, and then the radio show, it's just Polish, you see, the owners there are Polish, you see, so I didn't they decide to close down and put all the Irish ones out. So, of course, I was one of them that was off it. But on Belmont and WXRT, I talked to the manager there, and I thought maybe I liked it. He says, sure. So he put me on there to WXRT, and I was there then, like I said, for so many years. And then WXRT changed their format and went rock, as you probably know very well. It was rock. Well, I couldn't be on the rock music. So they changed it to what I've just done now, WSBC radio. So I went from, so it's all these years, 40, probably almost 40 years between the radio shows, you know. And still alive, I don't know how, I'm still alive, you know.
Do you still do the radio show?
I just finished it, I try to tell you, a couple of weeks ago.
And so how long was the radio show? Was it an hour or a half hour? Or?
From 8:30 to 10.
Oh, hour and a half, huh?
Yeah, an hour and a half. First it was 2 hours, and then they gave a half an hour to another guy that wanted, so it went to 8:30 to 10. We were 8 to 10 for a good while, you know. And the radio show is, it's a service to everyone, you know. And it's a great thing, really. So it is for publicity, you know. And that it was good. The radio show was good.
So did you, besides playing music from the LPs you were donating to us, did you do interviews with musicians?
I played LPs up until the last show I done, some of LPs.
Okay.
I could play the LP at the radio show.
Great.
I used the radio, the LP. And of course, I have LPs that nobody else has.
Right.
So I have, they're probably, some of them 50 years old. So they are, you know, which is a long time. And maybe they're a little older than that. 50 years, I have them, you know. They're much older than that, some of them, you know. Some great LPs, there's no doubt about it, you know.
Did you ever get musicians in and interview them then too?
Well, I never got musicians to view these LPs, no.
Okay.
But I had this house of musicians. Mary God, there was every musician that came into Chicago came here to our basement and played. In the mid, every one of the bands, I know every one of the bands. And they used to come, the ones that come to the Irish Village here in Chicago. Did you ever get down to the Irish Village?
Yes.
Well, the Carib folk, I
saw Paddy Riley there a few times.
You see Paddy Riley?
Yeah.
Well, Paddy, he stayed at our house, so he did, at this house, not our house, this house. And I moved up.
It was on
all the musicians that stayed. Have you ever talked to a musician? You talk to a musician that talk, they'll tell you. I first came, I stayed with Maureen O'Looney, you know. We had an open door we had here for musicians, really. And the politics, of course, as well, right, you know, you know, the hunger strikers, folks were here as well, so I don't know, I don't know, but we used to do it anyway. We have a big old house here, you know, there's a total of 10 rooms, you know, you see. So, but it was good, and we used to follow politics. I said, then when the hunger strike started, that really pushed us more into politics then, you know. And we still, like I said, we still do a little bit of it, but not near as much. The store was an opening door for all the lads and girls that came from Ireland. They'd come to the airport, and there was a couple of girls at the airport from Ireland, and you know, at that time, you see, you had to have a job or something ready for you, you know, but they wouldn't. They were coming in droves, really, and the girls at the airport would say, here, they'd give me my card to come over. And I remember one evening, there's so many of these things that are coming into my mind when you're gone, I guess. But one evening, these 6 girls, used to come in bunches, you know, 6 girls arrived at the store, you know, and they had their backpacks, so they had, you know, with them, and I didn't come in, so first thing I done was put the kettle on, and we used to sell soda bread at the store, Winston's soda bread, you see. So cut up a few soda breads and some jam and marmalade and sat them down in the kitchen. We had a kitchen at the back of the store, which I tell you, I don't know how many thousand cups of tea came out of that kitchen. I don't know what they did an awful lot. And sit these girls, and the Lord save us, they didn't know what happened to them because they figured they'd never left home. Because, you see, they couldn't understand how somebody could have a cup of tea in this country, you know, and that, you know. So I used to get jobs then for them. That time we used to do a lot of babies, what they call babysitting.
Nanny type
you know,
work, yeah.
You know, and it happened that my name got circled among these people that needed help, and I used to have to keep a book. So I did, because they used to call me, and the following morning, that day then, then these girls had no place to go, so I took them home with me and kept them for a couple of nights, and then got jobs for each one of them, and within a week we had a job for each one of them, like, you know. So that kind of thing that I done, as I said, all the time I was at the store, but it's different now, such as with the immigration. We started the immigration 1960, along the founders of the immigration here, or club, and that was it. And then along came Gaelic Park and the Heritage Centre, and you know, so I am a founding member of both of those, you know. Very proud of it, both of them, very proud of both of them, really, you know. Even though the Gaelic Park is a good distance from us here. You know, just an hour's ride, like, you know.
And Maureen, if I might ask, just in relation to the setting up of the radio show, because Barry, every Wednesday, if anyone came into Maureen's shop, from about 3 or 4 onwards, Maureen had a method of compiling which record goes on after each, so that there was a nice little contrast.
I guess it was really, yeah, well, we had a great...
What night was the radio show? Was it Wednesday?
Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Well, there was different times, but I was involved, it was Wednesdays.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was real nice, the radio show was nice, especially when Paddy was on with me, because you had 2 different voices, you know, and it's right.
Mayo and Cork.
Mayo and Cork, yeah, just to throw that Cork in, like, you know. And we used to have all the big bands from Ireland when they'd come out. I always had them on the show.
Great,
Dublin City Ramblers and all of them, like, you know. In fact, the Dublin City Ramblers called me on my birthday ever since. They do, like, you know. But anyways, the director up at the Irish Centre said, you know, Maureen, we'd love to have a shop in here, which is the right place to have one. And I said, yes, it is really, you know. So that went on for a year, and finally one day he says, will you say yes to it? And I said yes, because the director at that time was Tim McDonald. And I said, yes, I'll move. So we started the process of moving and moved into the centre. And we're right in the front door when you come into the centre of the shop. It's the first thing you see.
To your left? Was it to your left?
Yes, yeah. And it's very nice, as like I said, very nice. Because you meet such great people. So you do wonderful people, you know. And it's very interesting. And that's, like I said, I've been a founding member of it. I've gone through since that day or up to today, and I see all the changes, you know, and all the volunteers that's worked all during those years, 30 odd years, like, you know, and it's a great thing. It's a great thing, really.
It's a big undertaking.
You know. It's great. I mean, we teach everything there, like, you know, the dancing, the singing, the Gaelic, everything, and it's great. We have masses there, we have wonderful things, wonderful concerts, as I said, it is to me, I don't know what we would do now without it.
Right, yeah.
You'll say, And Gaelic Park is the same. We had started Gaelic Park, as I said, years before the Heritage Centre, you see. And it is it's great. It's great to have them both. And I myself am happy to be a founding member of both, you see. And
Well, we want to thank you for your donation to the archives for all these LPs, and so that you know that they'll be put to good work, you know what I mean, that people will be able to listen to them for years to come. And the collection will be under your name, you know, so people will know that it's a legacy of yours, you know, from what you contributed down here for 94 years, or 93, depending on who you talk to.
Paddy must be 94. I've been
Paddy's trying to get you up there, I think.
93 in February the 8th. I've been 93.